If you own a business with 5 to 50 employees and you're working 50 or 60 plus hours a week, then this video is for you. So we'll get you out of that daily nitty-gritty so that that business functions on its own without the fear of letting go. We build the processes to make that a reality for you. Yes, we actually systemize it for you. And what's more, if you're not satisfied, you get your money back. At this stage, we've probably met about 1,000 business owners who've written up all their SOPs, but their team isn't using any of them. And it hasn't freed up the business owner in any way at all. And it's just been a complete waste of time that a business owner just doesn't have. You see, what keeps business owners stuck in the weeds working on stuff they shouldn't do and constantly answering questions from the team is the stuff that's slightly outside of standard operating procedure. So writing up all your standard operating procedures is never going to get you from those 50, 60 plus hours a week down to 5 or 6 hours a week. You need a process to manage the unstandard operating procedure first, and even if that's all you did, it would get you a long way to getting your time back. So do you want to spend your time just mapping out the SOPs for the sake of it for the next year or more, or do you really want to solve the problem of getting out of the weeds and getting it done in as little as 90 days? Because our focus is on freeing up the owner, and we've developed a unique framework that has 3 very specific promises which guarantees that we'll get you out of the weeds and back working on the business instead of in it, or getting you out of there altogether. We'll guarantee 3 key results to extract you from your business. So you know the way that you probably answer the same questions day in, day out. Well, guarantee number 1 solves this, and this might sound a little bit crazy, but we'll actually build out a decision-making process that puts a stop to 100 questions a day for the business owner. This ensures that your team can make informed decisions without having to come to you, even those decisions that need your experience. If up to now you've been trying to figure out how common sense is actually not so common among your team, then this solves it for good. So this will ensure that you're not running around anymore putting out fires. The questions have stopped and your team is engaged and making calls you never thought they could, even if you look at your team today and you think that could never happen. So our guarantee number 2 is that we will actually map out the processes for the activities that keep you stuck in the weeds so that they can be handed off to somebody else, but without the fear that it's all going to fall apart or that somebody will drop the ball, even if it's only something that needs your attention on very rare occasions. This means that the hundreds of small things that you do every week that you know are not the best use of your time can be confidently dealt with without you. And who's going to take them over? Well, we'll work with you to figure that out too. And then you stop saying to yourself, look, I could do this better myself. And you'll find that more decisions can be made faster, which enables the business to actually grow quicker because you're no longer the bottleneck. So guarantee number 3 is that we will build an accountability, communication, and team training process that ensures that everyone knows what they're doing. Your employees will begin to see the company as a business, not just as a job, and they'll be fully accountable across the board in a way that's measurable and aligned to your way of doing things. So when we do this for you, you'll have the confidence to step out of the day-to-day without the fear of letting go and still have your finger on the pulse even if you're 1,000 miles away. Now that your business is delivering consistent results to your customers and increased profit to the bottom line and even growing without you being involved, you'll be able to recruit more effectively, train your team better, and deliver better efficiency. This basically means that you make more money in less time and gives you the freedom to focus on what you really want to do. So now, because you've shifted your business from revolving around you to becoming an autonomous system, you've massively increased its value to any potential buyer, or you've created an automatic retirement policy. So we guarantee these results, and if we work with you and you're not satisfied that it was worth it, then you get your money back. Now, that's a big promise to make, and we're prepared to stand by it. So how can we do that? Well, if you just look at our track record, so personally, I went from working 70 plus hours a week, 7 days a week, and way worse in some weeks, to actually taking 2 years off to go sailing. Then I used the same method to systemize and sell 3 separate multi-million-dollar businesses. And we've worked with hundreds of business owners to get them out of firefighting mode so that they could spend more time with their families or focus on strategy and growth. Like, for example, Eric, who was working 60 hours and now he works 6, like William, who was full-time in the business, and today the business is functioning completely by itself. Colin, who says that he's got way more business, but paradoxically way more time. And I'll tell you more about those guys in a minute. But nobody else out there is doing this kind of holistic systemizing for business owners who want to get away from the firefighting, but just don't have the time to do it themselves. There are plenty of consultants out there or gurus who can teach you how to write up your SOPs, but you probably don't have time for that, and even if you did, it could take years just to realize that once it's all done, it's out of date. So none of these people are talking about building a process that includes accountability, measurement, and training the team. So if the business owner doesn't abandon those SOPs, then the team probably will. So what we do differently is we're focused on you, the business owner. In fact, if you don't own your own business, then we're not going to even work with you. Now, I'll tell you more about myself and how we helped Eric and William and all those in a moment, but if that's all you need to hear, because you're saying to yourself, look, I want to get away from these 50, 60 hour weeks. I like what you guarantee, Rory. I get that this works for others, and I know you've done it in your own businesses, and you want to speak to us to find out more straight away, then you can book a call with us and we'll show you how that can work for you, specifically in your business and your way. Remember though, you'll need to have 5+ employees. Otherwise, we just can't guarantee the results. Now, if you're still here and that's because you want to know why this works so well when other methods don't, and how it specifically worked for Eric, William, Colin, and others, then just stay with me a couple of more minutes. So I've built, systemized, and sold 3 multi-million-dollar businesses. I've built a franchise company and scaled it to 3 continents in just 1 year. I've managed to sail across the Atlantic twice without a phone or email for months and still see my business grow. So when I came back from those 2 trips, owners started coming to me asking how we did it. And that's when I found my true calling, helping these business owners to make bigger lives for themselves. And that's become my quest now, making bigger lives for business owners. So some of them want to be totally hands-free, but most enjoy doing a few hours a week because they're free of the stuff that they hate doing and they love spending some time working on the business, and it's changed their relationship with work completely. So you're probably wondering, well, what is it about what we do that gets results when focusing on SOPs and processes alone just backfires? Well, then let me give you 3 reasons why this works. So reason number 1, when business owners are frustrated with the amount of time they're spending working on the nitty-gritty of the business, they think about systems. They think about McDonald's. But their offering is rarely as simplified as McDonald's is, and often they're unwilling to change the offering. And it's not their fault because they haven't been trained any other way. And this leads to a lot of time and effort and battles trying to build this SOP handbook without thinking about the underlying structure that's required, and this ends in failure. So we completely avoid this. So reason 2, we start by working out how to deal with the unstandard operating procedures. It's the stuff that's slightly outside of standard and that causes all those firefighting problems that we have to deal with as business owners every day. So we build a decision-making process to deal with this first. This starts to free up time for the business owner in as little as 30 days, so we can get a very big win very fast. Nobody else can do this. And number 3, we build a bespoke accountability, measurement, and team building process that runs daily and ensures that the processes are being used, checked, updated continually without micromanagement. This is the underlying structure that holds everything together and ensures that the processes we develop are being used day in, day out. Other accountability processes are viewed as micromanagement by the team and then they drop them as quickly as possible. Ours does the opposite, actively engaging the team in the success of the processes and empowering them to make decisions. All of this because we focus on extracting the business owner confidently from the day-to-day, not just the 11 steps in the invoicing process. Now, every business is different and every business owner is different. So what we did for these owners that I'm going to mention was customized for each, and we would do the same for you. Our teams work directly on the business to ensure that the process is optimized for your particular way of working and comfortable for you to implement so that your team is engaged. Just imagine what a difference that would make to your life. So by using our framework, we've been able to take William from working in the business every single day to being able to step away completely to start another business and a charity and be honored by his peers with an award for doing so. Eric, who was working 60 hours a week, got down to 6 hours after working with us for just 3 months. So what would you do with that time? Would you spend it on your family? Would you use that time to work on the business? Or would you use it just to increase the value of your business for an exit? And then there's Colin, who basically says, my God, the difference between before and after. With the new systems that we put in place for him, he's got way more business than he had before, but paradoxically, he's got way more time. And then there's Don, who loves and enjoys working on his business, but who says that with the systems we put in place for him, he can now run his business in 20 hours a week, which means that he has the confidence to go and spend that rest of that time on himself and on his family. Then there's Ollie, who used to be at every single meeting and every engagement in his business, and he took himself completely out of the day-to-day running of the business. The team was able to handle all that, which allowed him to actually sell that business. Now, none of these businesses had the time or the training to do anything themselves, so we stepped in and we put a customized structure in place for them that was optimized for the idiosyncrasies in their particular business and sometimes in themselves. This is the simplest, fastest method to get business owners out of the weeds and into that clear, calm, open ocean. And nobody else can do it this way, and nobody else can do it this fast. Now, I know I'm just some guy you're seeing on a video, and maybe I just came up on social media and you wouldn't normally click on that stuff, and booking a call with us probably means you're going to have a hard-nosed sales guy on the other end. And I'd be thinking the same myself, honestly, but we have like no incentive to try and sell something that's not going to work for you as a business owner and work in your business, because of our guarantee. The risk is actually on us. So if you book a systems blueprint call with us, which you can do around here, we will be working through the specific challenges in your business and identifying the best path to getting you out of there. That's it. So maybe you're thinking to yourself, well, what if this doesn't work in my business, or I've tried something like this before and it didn't work, and you're allowing that to hold you back from the life that you actually deserve after taking all the risk and the hard work in your business. And if you don't at least explore the opportunity, you'll definitely not get anywhere and nothing will change, and that's probably not the business life that you'd originally planned. So if something in this video clicks with you in any way, there's a button around this video that you can book a call with us, and at the very least you're going to learn something about your business and something that you can do to move it forward. If you click that and you book that call, then we're going to ask you a few simple questions that takes about like 3 minutes to answer, so that we can be pre-prepared to get straight into the challenges in your business, and so we're not wasting any of your time. And just one final thing. So we specialize in working with business owners. So if you don't own the business and that business is not roughly around 5 to 50 employee mark, this is not the right place for you. We just won't be able to guarantee the result. So look, as I said before, my quest in life is to make bigger lives for business owners, myself included. So let us help make one more bigger life, and let that life be yours.